Modes are very circular. When you think about modes, you think about Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, and then back to Ionian. And there's 7 of them, okay? We can also think about the Ionian scale as being that whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. When I go from Ionian to Dorian, or when I go from the first position of Ionian to the second position of Ionian, I'm making a whole step jump. Then I'm making a whole step jump again to Phrygian. Then I'm making a half step jump when I get to Lydian. Okay? It's not something you have to really fully 100% memorize, but it's something that helps you understand why the modes sound the way they do. So if I were to start, for instance, at Aeolian, then we look at it on a single string. Like for instance, let's look at it at single string. Let's call this the high E string. And let's go ahead and look at the pattern here. It's going to be whole step, half step, then whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. And that's going to be the pattern of Aeolian. So if we jump from E, and we want to go ahead and keep on going, we will go whole step, and then half step, then whole step, half step, and then whole step, which should bring us back to the 12th fret. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oops, I messed up and I do that sometimes. So let's look at it again. So I go whole step, then half step. So I got my whole step, and I got my half step. Then whole step, half step, whole step. This should have been a whole step right here. I messed up. That's where I messed up right there. So it's always good to double check these things. So whole step, and then half step. So there should be a half step right there. And then from there, we go whole step, and that should take us back to the 12th fret. Whole step and whole step. I'll make those kind of big so we can see it. So now we're back to the 12th fret. So we're going to go ahead and look at the frets on these. So we're playing the open, we're playing the 2nd fret, which is going to be your F sharp, and then your G on your 3rd fret. So your 2nd, your 3rd. And then we're going to play the 5th fret, which would be your A. And then from here, we're going to go to this one, because I messed up a little bit. Not that one. This one right here, we're going to go to the B, which would be your 7th fret. And then from here, we're making that half step right here. So we're going to go to the C, which is on the 8th fret. And then from here, we're going to go to the 9th fret, which will be the D. Oops, I mean the D is on the 10th fret, and then the E is on the 12th fret. So what we have is we have this. Open, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and then 10, 12. Playing it backwards like that as well. And of course they call that a minor scale because you could hear how it sounds minor. I know there's a lot of people who argue there shouldn't be a minor scale, but it's the Aeolian mode. And we can think about it as the 6th position of the major scale. But in this case, it's just going to be E Aeolian or E minor, okay? We could also play it backwards. Play it across 3 strings. Very similar to Phrygian, but it's slightly different. Phrygian is here. Aeolian is here. So across 3 strings, we're going to play it like this. I think that's right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to play here, here, and here. Just like we did on Phrygian. If you remember my Phrygian lesson that I did, we're playing 12, 10, 8, 12, 10, 8. With Phrygian, I played 10, 9, but on this one, we're going to play 11, 9. So that's going to make it a little bit different, right? 11, and then 9 on the 3rd string there. So that's your pattern right there. And of course, we can play this across not just the first string, not just those 3 strings right there, but across 3, 4, and 5 as well. And that becomes your Aeolian mode. And that gives you a nice little workout too, because you get to play with that large span shape where I'm playing with my first finger, my ring finger, and my pinky, but I'm doing 2 whole steps there. There's other ways we can play the shape, of course. Like that. I could play on just the first string, I could play 12, 10. Then on the second string, I could play 13, 12, 10. And on the third string, or the second string, 13, 12, 10. And on the third string, 12, 11, 10. That's just another way to play it. That's the shape I'm used to, really, right? But this time we're going to do those large spans. And here we're going to play, which across the third string will be 9, 7, 5, 9, 7, 5 across the fourth string, and then 9, 7 across the fifth string. So 9, 7, 5, 9, 7, 5, and just 9, 7 across the fifth string. So you have that. So that gives you, just like I've been doing with all of these, it gives you 2 octaves that you can play. Of course, the open string as well. I teach a lot of this kind of stuff in my free course over at justpickuptheguitarandgo.com, where I show you how to take that single string, bring it into 3 strings, play the octaves, then map out the entire shapes, right, with like the major scale and the minor scale. I don't go over every single mode, so you're getting a lot here that I don't even cover in the free course, but it's good to know, right? It's good stuff to know. So check that out, justpickuptheguitarandgo.com.